Use any ATM of your convenience and stand a chance to win gold sovereigns.
Lanka Pay.
The 79th budget of Sri Lanka, themed The First Step Towards a Wealthy Nation, was presented to the Parliament this morning by President Anura Dissanayake. This is the National People's Power's first budget after coming into power last year. The budget estimates total expenditure for the period from the 1st of January to the 31st of December 2025 at 7.19 trillion rupees, while the total revenue is estimated at 4.99 trillion rupees. Accordingly, the budget deficit for the year is estimated at 2.2 trillion rupees, which is 6.7% of GDP. Meanwhile, the total gross borrowing requirement to be recorded in government accounts will be 4 trillion rupees.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාව 2022 වසරේදී නිදහසින් පසුව ගැඹුරුතම හා සංකීර්ණතම සමාජ ආර්ථික දේශපාලනික අර්බුදයට මුහුණ දුන්නා.
In 2022, Sri Lanka experienced its deepest and most complex socio-economic and political crisis since independence. The underlying causes of the crisis are historical and structural. Corrupt governance, failed economic policies and irresponsible public financial management were its root causes. The crisis also triggered a political shift in the country. Unbearable economic hardships led to social uprisings against corrupt rulers. People's power forced them to step down from government. Subsequently, people took a progressive decision to form a new government with a strong mandate. This budget is historic as it lays the foundation for fulfilling the aspirations of the people for the economic transformation of the country by driving the economy towards sustainable growth and development. Despite negative propaganda against us, we were able to successfully stabilize the economy and build strong relationships with international partners and create confidence among investors. The financial sector gradually stabilized with the benchmark annual treasury bill rate coming down to 8.8%. Foreign currency reserves were at $6.1 billion by end December 2024, even after the debt restructuring related payments of $570 million in December. The Sri Lankan rupee strengthened to approximately 300 against the US dollar. We expect an economic growth of around 5% in 2025. We are of the view that achieving economic sovereignty is necessary in order to design our economic agenda. When we came into power, the debt restructuring process was ongoing, which we did not want to obstruct given the potential to destabilize the economy if such a drastic change took place. This process has provided substantial debt relief, significantly reducing debt servicing costs. It is imperative that the country leverage this fiscal space to strengthen external and fiscal buffers and enhance non-debt generating inflows such as export income and foreign investment and ensure long-term financial stability to facilitate the smooth resumption of debt repayments in the future. We must resume debt repayments in 2028. Therefore, we must use this 3-year window to transform our country into a strong economy capable of repaying debt. However, growth for the sake of growth has little value to society unless it is a means to uplifting the lives of all members of society. The people's struggles and last year's election saw people asserting their political rights. Now what is necessary is for economic rights to be similarly asserted. This is the philosophy of this budget. We have achieved stability to a certain extent. Therefore, this budget has been prepared with a focused sense of fiscal discipline, economic vision and guidance. The Public Financial Management Act, as a key fiscal rule, limits primary expenditure to 13% of GDP, and this year's budget is prepared in accordance with this requirement. In this year's budget, we have been able to allocate funds for many of our key priorities, although it may not be to the fullest extent that is desired. We have allocated funds for the Senior Citizens Interest Subsidy from July 2025. We have allocated 4% of GDP for capital expenditure. This year's budget also features the highest allocation for health and education in Sri Lankan history. We expect economic growth of over 5% of real GDP growth over the medium term. We expect to maintain a low and stable inflation. We also expect a stable external current account balance. Accordingly, the rupee exchange rate will no longer experience spells of substantial volatility. We expect exports of goods and services to reach an all-time high of close to $19 billion in 2025. A primary budget surplus of 2.3% of GDP will ensure Sri Lanka is well placed to meet the gradual increase in debt service payments from 2028 onwards. Poverty levels are on the rise following the economic crisis. We hope to see a reversal of this trend by 2025, followed by a persistent decline in poverty as the proposals in this budget take the first step towards a comprehensive effort to empower the poorest and most vulnerable members of society. With sound financial management, responsible debt management, human capital investment, a robust social safety net, economic diversification, promotion of exports, improvement of investment climate, modernization of agriculture, green economy policies, innovation, digitalization, entrepreneurship and startup ecosystems, public-private partnerships, strengthening of anti-corruption measures, improvement of governance and promotion of transparency and sustainable growth strategies, we expect to better use the post-crisis opportunities to create a transformative change in the Sri Lankan economy to achieve long-term economic stability and prosperity.
පරිවර්තනීය වෙනසක් ඇති කිරීම සඳහා පශ්චාත් අර්බුද අවස්ථා වඩාත් හොඳින් යොදා ගැනීමට අපි අපේක්ෂා කරනවා.